Hey guys, Mike. Real quick, I was in the park up in Portland, Tennessee, uh, Saturday for the Raise the Praise concert. I was handing out cards that explain to the church, wake up church, 56 million, well 58 now. Children have died, we've lost our salt, we've lost our light, and we need to repent. So I was handing out those cards to everyone in the crowd. It went pretty well. No one really got too mad at me, and I had some good conversations. I didn't bring any signs with me, so maybe that was why. Who knows? I doubt it. But so then on my way out, I went to go walk around the parks on the way out of the amphitheater area. There's like a couple playgrounds on the way. Families were out there with their kids. Some of them had already gotten cards from me because they were down at the concert and they went and took their kids to play. I ran across three ladies. One of them had gotten a card from me at least, so she had seen the abolitionist card about abortion. But I was handing out just gospel tracts that explained why men don't come to Christ, why people reject Christ. It's kind of a good tract. I'll have to maybe post a link to how to get it on Chapel Library. But it's just kind of a tract explaining not only to Christians but also to non-Christians what keeps people from accepting Christ. Pretty simple: pride, sin. They love themselves, not God. You know. But anyways, I handed it to these ladies, and I walked all the way around the park, and I handed one to everybody in the park, and then I came back around, and I noticed that they were reading it. One of them had it open, and this is what caught my attention. Okay, this is what really bothered me. She said, "Well, I can't find anything wrong in this. I mean, everything in here is right." And there was kind of like this, like, so, you know. Anyways, I'm wearing a shirt that says abolitionist across the front. I'm wearing on the back it has an ultrasound picture and it says rescue those being drawn to death. Proverbs 24. And of course, in modern Christianity, going around and evangelizing publicly and handing out tracts and even preaching and stuff like that and fighting evils is kind of considered not something you're supposed to do. So I came across these ladies and they were literally having a conversation about how they couldn't find anything wrong with the material that I had handed them. But it's almost like, well, there has to be something weird about this guy, right? Like that was kind of like the assumption. And so I just kind of was listening to their conversation just a little bit as I walked up, and it was basically, I can't find anything wrong. You see, like, the problem with that, like, they were looking, like, there's got to be something about this guy that's wrong, right? Because people don't do this, right? So I just kind of walked up, hey, ladies, do you have any questions? And they were like, oh, well, we were just, like, reading, and so I just kind of explained to them a lot of stuff, how the church has basically decided not to confront evil, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them or reprove them, just so on and so forth. Proverbs 24, Proverbs 31, Psalm 94, I gave them a lot, and they nodded their heads. One lady was actually engaging and talking back, and she was really, honestly, kind of like, yeah, yeah. And one lady was just like, oh, like so uncomfortable, like, just, do we really have to listen to this guy? Like just sitting there kind of like, when are you going to go away? And the other lady was kind of like uneasily, uh-huh, yeah, sure. So it was just kind of interesting that I walked up and I'd handed them a gospel material, and maybe it's because they had already gotten some of the abolitionist material earlier. I'm not sure. I couldn't say. It's just kind of interesting that they were like, I can't find anything wrong. Like, there's got to be something wrong with this guy. He walking around evangelizing. Who does that? So anyways, don't get discouraged. People are always trying to find something wrong. They're always trying to find a way to, like, dismiss what you're doing because they know they're not doing it and they know they're supposed to be. So, like, they're going to try to find some way to, like, dismiss you some way, shape, or form. So don't get discouraged. Just keep spreading seeds. I was reading my Bible the other day, like every day, right? And, it says, I planted, Apollos watered, God gave the increase. Whether or not you're planting, whether or not you're watering, whether or not you're tilling, whatever it is you're doing, God will give the increase. Just keep being faithful, and don't let anybody get you down. Don't let people discourage you with their nitpicking you and trying to find faults in you, and just don't get drawn down, and keep fighting the good fight. All right, and God bless.